right. So, coming to find out something pretty cool. Um, doing it from here. So, you got the Scoob movie coming out, but I came across this information recently. Yeah, this is actually really cool. So, it stars the voices of Frank Welker, who is the title character of Scooby, and he's the only original person to redo the voice. It has, I got a couple notes here, make sure I didn't miss anything. It has Frank Welker as Scooby-Doo. It has Will Forte as Shaggy Rogers, Ian Armitage as young Shaggy Rogers, Mark Wahlberg as the Blue Falcon, Jason Isaacs as Dick Dastardly, Gina Rodriguez as Velma Dinkley, Adrian Greenblatt as young Velma Dinkley, Zac Efron as Fred Jones, Pierce Gannon as young Fred Jones, Amanda Seyfried as Daphne Blake, McKenna Grace as young Daphne Blake, Kiersey Clemens as Dee Dee Sykes, Keong Jong as Dino Mutt, Dog Wonder, Tracy Morgan as Captain Caveman, Simon Cowell as himself, Ira Glass as himself, Don Messick as Space Kook from the Archival Laugh recordings. Matthew Lillard will always be my Shaggy. But, Will Forte could do a great job. I heard the voice sounded good. So here's the cool part. If you notice the people, the cast I named, Dastardly, Captain Caveman, and Dee Dee Sykes. Now, if you don't know who Dee Dee Sykes is, she's part of the Teen Angels with Captain Caveman. And what the thing is, she's kind of like a Thelma. But here's what's cool. I'm like, wait a minute, Blue Falcon, this person, what's going on? So I look into it. Come to find out, they're actually doing a Hanna-Barbera universe. Scoob is the start of a new universe. That's why I'm like, oh, okay, this reboot actually might be kind of cool. And I was like, that's actually awesome. Now, you got with the Angels, right? You also have Brandon Chance and Taffy Dare. Now, there used to be Captain Caveman's son, and I know Taffy, they used to hint that her and Captain Caveman liked each other. So I'm very curious how they're going to play that, but that's another superhero. And, I mean, we're talking about Hanna-Barbera. Do you know how many things Hanna-Barbera has that could be a title? Okay, you got Tom and Jerry, Droopy, Spike Gets Hike, The Rough and Ready Show, Huckleberry Hound, Pixie and Dixie and Mr. Jinx, Yogi Bear, The Flintstones, The Quick Draw McGraw. I used to love some of these joints, yo. Top Cat. Now, Top Cat was cool because he used to play the thing and he'd be with the cops and everything, talking about some do. And, yo, y'all don't even know, Quick Draw McGraw was the horse dude with the, the gun. I kind of like the Western. You know who Yogi and the Simpsons are. I would look at you like kind of crazy. But Lippy the Lion and Hardy Har, they used to get up and they would run off. Because I think Hardy Har was Lippy the Lion was a lion. Hardy Har was a hyena. And he was like, I think if I remember correctly, he was like purple. You got the Jetsons, of course. Magilla the Gorilla Show. Peter Potamus. Johnny Quest, which is awesome, especially at last year's they came out with Adam Ant. I mean, Johnny Quest, the Venture Brothers are based off of Johnny Quest. You know what I mean? Secret Squirrel. My dad used to love Secret Squirrel. And Adam Ant, because Adam Ant, when he would get weak, he would like pump up and get more muscular. Captain Caveman, he was like, Captain Caveman! And then he had that series where he was Captain Caveman and his son. And it was just so crazy, yo. You also had like Sinbad Jr. and his magical belt. Now you also then had Frankenstein and the Jr. and the Impossibles. Now Frankenstein Jr., there was a comic book cover that made it look kind of like the Fantastic Four. And it was Frankenstein Jr. and the Impossibles. Now, you're probably wondering, how do I know all these things even though I'm not old enough when I was a kid? Well, when I was a kid, these used to come on. I used to eat up Hanna-Barbera. Okay? So with the Impossibles, you had a band. It was Fluid Man, Coil Man, and Multi-Man. And they used to do the thing where they're like, rally ho, rally ho ho, rally ho ho ho. And it used to be also a band, and they were a secretly superhero. They had like the Doctor on there. It was so cool. But then let's look at this. You got Space Ghost that could come back. the Space Cadets, Abbott and Costello show. I would just like to see Abbott and Costello. They're hilarious. Birdman and the Galaxy Trio. Okay, now you have Birdman. He's like Birdman, and he would have the thing where he would power up from the sun and had his things. The Galaxy Trio was cool because you had the one girl that could turn the gas, you had the one dude that could control gravity, and one guy, if I remember correctly, was like super strong. That could come in there. They could do space adventures, spinning off of Scooby-Doo, where like you have space ghosts in them, and then maybe they handle the space stuff. Now there's a space section. There's a superhero section on Earth with the bird heroes like Birdman, Falcon, and stuff like that. And Dastardly is always like one of the main villains. You have the Herculoids, where they're like trapped on another planet, and they had the little Gloop and Gleep and stuff like that. Shazam, Moby Dick, and Mitor, which Mitor was like, to me, like Captain Caveman if he was serious. But the Moby Dick show is crazy. Samson and Goliath, which I think I remember that was him with his lion. I could be wrong. The Banana Splits, who recently had a horror movie. The Adventures of Gulliver. New Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. I actually had that on tape when I was a kid. Dastardly and Muttley and the Flying Machines. Wacky Races. Yo, I don't care how old you are. Watch the Wacky Races. That was just an enjoyable show. You got Penelope Pitstop. All these characters, they could show up. Josie and the Pussycats, the Funky Phantom, which that was funny. The Amazing Chan Chan Clan. Speed Buggy, which was like motorcycles that were alive. They started doing this thing where machines were alive. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. I actually had, or Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid. Yeah, I actually have that movie. I love Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid, like westerns, right? You had all types of stuff. Ghost Chasers, Inch High Private Eye. That was always funny to do. Like, yeah, I gotcha, and all that stuff. You had the Cool Club, Jabba Jaw. Jabba Jaw. You sound like Curly from the Three Stooges, man. There's so much people don't even know about. Harlem Globetrotters. I would love to see something with that, especially with the newer ones. You got C-Lab 2020. C-Lab 2021 was funny, but C-Lab 2020, they could do some cool stuff with that. These Are the Days. They had the Partridge Family in the future. A lot of people don't realize Addams Family was a part of it. I'm trying to think if I can think of any more. Valley of the Dinosaurs, Wheelie and Chopper, CB Bears, Popeye, I remember, was in there. Godzilla had it. The Hanna-Barbera cartoon with Godzilla. Jane of the Jungle. Smurfs, they could do something with that and put the Smurfs up in there if they wanted to. My favorite Scooby-Doo happens to be 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo. I don't care what anyone says. I love Scrappy. I know everyone seems to hate him. Scrappy was my stuff. And 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo with Vincent Van Gogh or Vincent Price was awesome. Now with Bill and Ted coming out, I'm wondering if they're going to do a Bill and Ted's thing, because a lot of people don't realize Bill and Ted's cartoon show is based off of that. Then, now here's some things I wanted to talk about. Here's where I got some notes, right? I do know these, but there's a reason why I wanted to make sure I didn't forget these. You have the New Adventures of Captain Planet. Yeah. So, while we're at it, I decided to take a walk. My phone was starting to get hot in the car. But let's talk about this. The New Adventures of Captain Planet. SWAT Cats. That Radical Squadron. Two Stupid Dogs. And then you had like Dexter's Lab. Remember cartoons, right? You got like Dexter's Lab. Sorry about my hand. Johnny Bravo, Cow and Chicken, the Powerpuff Girls. Cave Kids, The Real Adventures of Johnny Quest. You see what I'm saying? Now you're probably wondering, what could this be? Like, first off, I've been wanting SWAT Cats forever, okay? SWAT Cats, if you haven't watched SWAT Cats, I think it's on YouTube right now. Watch SWAT Cats. That's one of the old cartoons I definitely want to get my hands on. First off, the artwork in the cartoon was sick. I don't care what anyone says. Then you had that freaking amazing opening song. FedEx about to come here. Okay. Where it's like, yo, watch SWAT Cats. That's what I'm going to tell you right now. Watch SWAT Cats, okay? The Radical Squadron, all right? You just need to do it. You need that as a part of your life if you're a geek. But this is exciting. Like, I can see a lot of potential in this, especially if they do it right. If they remember that they're trying to make an awesome cartoon show that, excuse me, that has the nostalgia of the old with the stuff of the new, they would kill it, yo. And a lot of those I remembered off the top of my head, and as you've seen, I can reference stuff because I remember them. Especially the Galaxy Trio. I feel like there's so much potential there with some of this space stuff. Like if they literally, here's how I'm gonna say it. Let them do it like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I know that sounds weird, but hear me out. Imagine they're doing it, and now you have the section of space, like they focus on the superheroes, right? But then you have the more mystery areas. They have a lot of characters that have mystery. Then you have that comedy section where it's more focused on the comedy. And I'm not saying that everything needs to go there, but with the comic book, they also had, what was it? It was like the Johnny Quest one, but it was like every single superhero of Hanna-Barbera joined forces. Could you imagine that in an actual movie, like a cartoon movie or something? With them all joining forces and everything. Future Quest, that's what it was called. And they used Future Quest to spin off Space Ghost stuff. They could also do that too. They could do a Future Quest thing, introduce all those characters, do this, have all that stuff, bring in SWAT cats. And if they really wanted to, they could bring back the cartoons. Like this is something that they could milk the mess out of. You have new starts, new things. You could do stuff from home, TV shows. You could, like, this could blow up if you do it right. It all depends on Scoob. And Scoob, I think, was a good place to start, especially introducing the Blue Falcon. So yeah, but that's it. I think this could be something potentially awesome and fantastic. But I want to hear what you guys have to say. I want to hear what you think. I think this is a really cool idea. I know I'm throwing so much, like, oh, I want to see all this. Of course, I'm a geek. I'm excited. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited. They got to be picky about what they do, but they could get Space Ghosts and a lot of these recognizable ones from when they did the joke stuff and actually really tell some good, strong stories with some characters that we haven't seen in years do their superhero prominence. I love Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law. I would love to see Birdman go back to being a superhero too. Space Ghost being a host, I would also love to see some really cool space adventures. Like, especially if, let's say, Space Ghost met up with the Galaxy Trio and they got trapped on a planet, and now you got the Herculoids. And now they all have to defend the thing, which, yes, Space Ghost has crossed over with the Herculoids before. There's just so much potential. And I think they should really take this on and realize that Warner Brothers might have a gold mine on their hand as long as they handle it with the love and care and understanding, and don't try to pander, don't try to start switching stuff up. You have black people in there, you have other types of people. Yes, update some things if they're a little bit outdated, if you get my drift. But outside of that, do the thing and really go into it. You can just give us these cool things. And I don't mind the fact that Captain Caveman's Tracy Morgan. I'm not even the biggest fan of Tracy Morgan. I don't hate him or nothing. He's just, when I watch his comedy, it doesn't make me laugh. But I think he's cool. I think he's a good guy. I like the Last OG, which, by the way, shout out to my boy Derek that's on that show. Yeah, much love. But, yeah. That's all I got to say. This is Geek Protagonist. I would love to hear what you think. See ya. Hey, this is the Geek Protagonist. Thank you for visiting my channel. Like, subscribe, share. Tell me what you think. You heard my thoughts. And also hit that bell notification so you can be aware of any videos I do. Just click. And just take care of yourselves. Thank you. I really appreciate you coming to my channel. I appreciate you sharing this time with me. Alright? So, the Geek Protagonist is out. And discuss in the comments, suggestions, anything. See ya.